Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning show rolls on. So we played the highlights Friday before we headed out of town of the crazy way that the Dragons season began on Thursday night in Michigan, falling behind 21-0 to Northern Michigan, and then rallying to win the game 44-37. Jack Strand with just a ho-hum 6-touchdown performance. But our next guest, I'm not sure how much years of his life he lost when it was 21 rip. We'll ask him. Head coach Steve Laqua joins us each and every Tuesday at 10:35. All right, so when it's 21-0, what's being said on the headset at that particular time?
Well, on the headsets, it's all the right things, right? It's saying we're okay. There's a long game. We're going to be all right. Just stay to the plan. You're telling that to the players on the sideline, but you definitely got some self-doubt in there. There's those voices in your head, and I think that's some of the great thing about athletics, right? That's life. There's voices that get in your head that are like, hey, this isn't good. This could go real bad. You could become a laughing stud. There's all these voices, and you have to quiet that and perform in the storm. And I think our guys did a fabulous job of just staying the course and understanding it was a long football game. Just keep doing what we need to do.
It was the perfect storm for them because they get a touchdown and then Strand threw a pick six. So, I mean, you got to just – are you pulling your hair out and they return and it's 14-0?
Well, yeah, and then we get a short punt. They get a short field. We're 21 rip. And, yeah, no, at the same time, you're going, wow, we're getting snake bit here. They get one touchdown. You know, we spot them one, a short field spots them another. You're like, whew. It breaks it that we gave them, but we did give them. And at the end of the day, like you can't spot teams like that. But at the same time, you're looking at it going, okay, it's not as bad as it seems, even though it's 21-0. I think that was the biggest thing. I think the bigger concern was, hey, we're going to stay together. Our defense had to hold up against a running offense indoors over and over, and they were taking a lot of reps. And so I think that was our biggest concern going through the first quarter, the first half of we've got to not wear out. We've got to just stay the course and keep fighting here.
How much did your quarterback steady things as well? It's 21 rip. You guys are going back out there. Did you even have to say anything to Jack at that point?
No, it was great. I didn't. He was totally good with it. He looked unfazed after the pick six. Found out after the game that, one of the linemen came to him afterwards to pick him up and tell him, hey, it was okay. And Jack just smiled at him and said everything was fine. And so I think when your leader is in that position where he can smile off a pick six and be like, hey, you know what? Bad play, that's on me. We're going to be fine. Just trust me on this one. I think that created confidence, especially within the offense.
Well, we were visiting off air. You guys fell behind 21-0. You get a drive and score a touchdown. It's 21-8. And then you got a fumble recovery and then scored right away again. How much momentum was that, Steve, when you got that touchdown and now it's a ball game? It's 21-15.
Well, that was huge. It kind of let you just take almost a sigh of relief. Like, okay, we're back in this thing. We're not way far away. We can see where we need to be. We got the ball to start the second half. I think it was a huge mental piece that we're going to be fine. Now, still at halftime, we're down 27-15 with the ball, but you're going, okay, we come out, we get a score. This is a one touchdown game early in the third quarter. No big deal. But the margin for error was very small. I think our guys understood that we, not that we had to be perfect, but we didn't have a lot of room to make any more mistakes. We use those up early, and credit to the guys. They did a great job.
Watching Strand throw here, just the ease of how he gets the ball out of his arm. Obviously, that's what the NFL is interested in, but it's like he just flicking the ball, and it's there on a 30-yard zinger to the end zone.
It's effortless. It feels like watching him at times. And there was the touchdown he threw to Kelly Johnson to put us up. I think it was put up 10. Like, he put that in a window of people that there's just no space. I couldn't believe he threw it for one, and then he ripped it in there. It was great. I just turned around with like the dumb look on my face. Couldn't even celebrate. It was just like, I don't even know what to say about that. And, he comes back off the sideline, and he just, he mentioned we had different sessions in the fall where we put 14 guys out on defense, and he kind of just was like, it's like 14 guys out there. There wasn't a lot of space, but I found enough window to make it work. You're like, yeah, you did.
The fact that you sealed the game, though, with a defensive play, how proud of you were that you guys got an interception to win it?
Well, definitely important. And Kenan Stowers doing it, a position move from corner to Sam linebacker and embraced that move and came in and played a special role and and it was a heck of a pick to finish it. But we were back to the wall. We had to get an onside kick. We had to get the defense to hold up. Like there were some things that could definitely go wrong. And I've seen a fair amount of debacles. And so hey, we stood up, we made the play, and got it. And so sometimes I don't know. It's players step up and make plays, and that was exciting.
It's 1 week, it's one game, it's the season opener, but the locker room afterwards, I have to imagine, what was that like after you won the game?
Definite excitement. I think there was a level of this was a very fortifying experience on the things we talk about a lot are not football things. They're the non-football things of how do you handle adversity? How do you pick each other up? How do you rally together as a team? And we did all the non-football things. If we didn't do those well, we don't win that football game. If we come unglued and rattled and lose our poise and lose our confidence, we don't win the game. And so I think it became a fortifying experience of we have a belief in each other. We have a belief in what we do. We have a belief in how we do it in the sense of the way our defense plays. We could have a takeaway at any point in time. And the way our offense plays, you can score at any point in time. And so games can flip quickly. And so we're never out of it. And I think that really strengthened our resolve, come out of it on the right end.
Sorry, the fact you're playing a team that hadn't won in forever and how hungry they were. Did your guys not necessarily overlook them, but know, hey, this might be more of a fight than we thought we were getting ourselves into?
Well, I don't think we overlooked them at all. I think we knew they were a capable team. And any team is going to be that struggled to get wins. The best they're going to be is at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
When there's belief and there's hope. And, hey,
That's
5-6 games down the way, if they haven't won yet, there's probably a lack of belief. But at the beginning of the year, you're going to get one of those best teams that you've ever gotten. And we didn't talk about at all what their record had been in the past. I don't know if the guys knew or not. I'm sure some of them looked it up and whatever, but they're just on the schedule. They're another opponent. For us, it was mostly about how do we need to be ready, and we need to make sure that we answer the bell. Last year didn't matter, for them or for us, and so you got to prove it every week.
Now you got to go back on the road, facing a team that's been sitting on you all offseason in Southwest State. What's the challenge of this week? With they haven't played a game, you guys have played one. Is there advantage, disadvantage in that?
Well, I honestly feel like it's just like last week. We got to go on the road, play a night game. It's a lot closer trip, at least for the bus drive. But so it's very similar challenge in the sense of you don't know exactly what you're going to get. You don't know exactly who you're going to be playing against. I think there's almost 60 new players on that roster. Man. And so you're trying to figure that piece out. Do we have a little advantage that, hey, we've been through the fire, the first game jitters, the substitution patterns, kind of getting into that? Yeah, I think so. And so I think similar to last week, it's important that we have a good start. Now, we didn't last week, had to overcome. There's a window of opportunity. If we can start well, I think that can really be an advantage. But at the end of the day, you got to play 4 quarters regardless.
The fact that you got to go back, here's a Southwest team that's struggling. It's almost in the same boat that Northern Michigan was. You mentioned a whole new lineup. I guess does the past week experience give you any sort of, not any advantage, but at least a blueprint of what maybe you'll face this coming Saturday?
Yeah, I think in the end, life doesn't give you many repeats or redos. And so, hey, here's a chance in back-to-back weeks of, hey, here's a similar challenge, taking it a level up. And that's really about sports. It's about life. Hey, we handled the challenge last week, past level 1. Okay, here's level 2. It's going to be a little bit more pressure, less room for error. We can't spot them 21. We're not going to win a football game if we do that. We've got to be better. And so, again, focus on us. What can we do? Handle the same type of challenge, but handle it better.
All right, we got to give 2 guys their flowers. We've talked plenty about Gage Florence on this show, but we got to mention again, 17 for 147 and 3. He knows he's going to get doubled, and defenses certainly know where he is. To still have that kind of game, how remarkable is that?
It was unbelievable. And honestly, watching the game, you're thinking as a coach, we're just trying to figure out, okay, right calls, schemes, motivation, mental side of the games. And you get to the end and someone said, Gage had a big game. I was like, yeah, he made a lot of plays. I have no idea how many. They said 17 catches. I was shocked. And not that it was quiet, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was big, but he does that. And it was fabulous to see. We needed it. He stepped up. He was a competitor at the highest level of competitiveness. His back was to the wall, and you could see him just trying to will the offense and the team to be able to step up and get it done.
We got to give some love on the defense. Mitchell Jezierski was unbelievable. 18 tackles, 2 for loss, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles. His younger brother was up here playing for Rogers against Moorhead, actually, on Thursday. This guy, tell me about him and your defensive performance he had.
Unbelievable performance, but unbelievable person and player. One of the best leaders that we've had in our football program. He has handled adversities. He's handled playing behind and beside Josiah Boehm for
Yeah.
years. Like, to have him finally get out and get the spotlight on him and be able to step up and perform. Not only did he talk the talk as a leader, but he walked the walk out there making those plays. Those were huge plays that changed the course of the game. And he was digging deep because he had a lot of hard work to do. And it was a lot of guys that were looking at him to be great
Yeah.
on the field, but looking at him to be a great leader also. That takes a lot mentally and physically.
I mean, in a game where 81 points is scored, maybe it's not necessarily a great defensive, but his stat line is worthy of NSIC Defensive Player of the Week. That was phenomenal.
Without a doubt. It's hard to say that you've been around any of those in the coaching career of the last, 20 years. It was phenomenal effort. Hopefully he can continue to lead and build and bring the entire defense with him.
I know this answer is completely predicated on the fact you won. Did you like the week 0 experience of playing when nobody else was playing?
Yeah, I think it was really good. It was a little bit of a long fall camp that felt a little bit weird the way school started. I think it's good being able to play, get things started. I did not like last year being off the first week and then coming in and playing an opponent that had already played a game. I thought that more difficult than probably we anticipated. And so I think it's good. We'll see how the bye week goes in season. I don't know if I'm necessarily on that, but it is what it is. We'll take it 1 week at a time.
So now it's a road trip here to Southwest State, as we were mentioning, 6 o'clock here. It's not necessarily whatever you had the 9-hour trip, but this one isn't a short one either to Marshall.
No, this is a day of trip for us. And, we kind of can pull out the blueprint of how we've done it here in the past. We've had a couple night games. Our guys have performed well. I think the end of the day is like, just, hey, we've got another challenge. We've got to go back into this ring, into the intensity of an opening night crowd that believes that they're going to win and do these things. And we have to be able to match intensity early.
I know it's not the same team, but this was a place early in your coaching career. It was really a struggle to win. You've won a few in a row down there. What have you found as the secret sauce? I know you're going to tell me, but of going down there and having a good game plan to get a victory on the road.
Well, you're right. This Southwest team has been kind of just a team that's been a hurdle for us both at home and on the road.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is we've just turned the ball over so many times. We've kind of just been snake bitten where we should be able to execute and we don't execute. And so thank goodness we've played better football, but it hasn't been great football where it's been dominant performances. We need to just make sure that we play how we can play. And I think that's the biggest thing. Not get caught up in all the things that are going on, not get caught up in not knowing what's doing, just play our game and let it ride out.
Last thing, because I had a couple emails on this, were there more calls or from the NFL guys after Jack's performance, or they've seen enough already? Can you answer that or know anything about that yet?
It's been about the same in the sense of we've had a ton of organizations here. They've already scheduled to come back. There's a couple here yesterday. They both watched the film. The one said, "Hey, you got to tell him to slide a little bit more. He's got to slide a little sooner here." So they're watching the film. They're paying attention. He's doing a good job. He's handling all that well. I don't think from the outside it doesn't seem like it bothers him at all. He's just playing football and he loves playing football with his buddies.
It was fun to watch, man. I'm sure you didn't enjoy the first quarter and a half, but man, the last 3.5 or 2.5 was pretty darn good of that. Thanks as always for the time. Safe travels and good luck on Saturday night, okay?
You bet. Sounds great.
There we go. Steve Laqua joining us each and every Tuesday at 10:35. Dragons on the road at Southwest Minnesota State this coming Saturday. This is the opener for everybody else. There were some schools that got to play week 0 like the Dragons did, but now Division II gets its season started. Again, if you missed it, and we showed the highlights there during our interview with Steve, a couple of the stat lines here. Strand was 35 of 48 for 336 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times. 336 and 6. Gage Florence, 17 receptions, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. Other than that, didn't do too much. And again, defensively, 2 standouts. Mitchell Jezierski, 18 tackles, 2 for loss, a sack, and 2 forced fumbles. Tate Gustafson, 14 tackles, a half sack in the win. They're fun to watch, folks. I'm telling you now, if people are I'll watch the Bison, I'll watch UND or the Gophers. Dragons are going to be a fun watch simply because of their quarterback. Whatever he does this year, it's going to be must-see TV because he's the real deal. And you saw it the way in those highlights. He just flings it, and it goes super far. Fun to watch. We'll break. We come back. We're already done. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for a Tuesday, answer our poll question, considering I was a mess this morning. Hot Mike wraps after this.